Hi everybody, and welcome to my first Arbitrage Junkie video. Whether you're a seasoned Amazon seller or looking to learn, I'm hoping my tips and tricks will help you. I'm not going to say I'm an expert. I've been doing this for less than a year, but I'm hoping that you can learn some tips from me, and then if you have better ways to do this, please feel free to comment in the comment section. I plan on using this channel to walk through my general process and learnings that I've had while growing my business from zero to an estimated and forecasted six-figure profit in the first year, targeting to get to over $1 million in sales at the end of year 2 or earlier. So the first topic for today that I'd like to discuss is about how I started, and then just in general, like how much money you should have to start, because these are some really frequent questions that I get in my direct messages. So just to start off, I'm currently only an Amazon seller. I know there are a lot of people who have multiple different accounts on eBay, Mercari, and all kinds of other selling websites. In order to keep it simple for myself, I've only done an Amazon seller account, just because I feel like they have the largest audience, the most customers, so it makes the simplest to start and scale. I think if you're only selling a few items here or there, from my understanding, eBay and Mercari and other Shopify and other websites are pretty simple, but probably harder to scale to the extent that I've been able to do this quickly on Amazon. When I started as an Amazon seller about 10 months ago, or actually, I guess I tried to start about 2.5 years ago, and I did a quick purchase of reselling. I actually went to a website called Kohl's Imports because it just seemed like the place where you could find the cheapest items to sell for more. I bought those about 2.5 years ago. I spent probably like $150 on those items, and then I sent like one or two of them to Amazon, and they were really slow at selling. They really weren't the right items. Not to mention they had poor feedback and were really, really cheap. So that first start 2.5 years ago, I really learned from, because I basically just sat on that product for a year. I thought it was really, really hard to actually start selling, and then fortunately my wife inspired me, and she came up with the idea to try and sell some private label necklaces on Amazon. We started off doing that. We bought about 30 necklaces for it was like $300, and we were trying to sell them for about $900 to $1,000. I will say, because this was 30 necklaces and across about 15 different ASINs that we had to create, which was a very annoying process. And I really found out that, like, unless you're creating an ASIN that's going to sell a lot, it takes a while to grow a private label ASIN. And at the same time, I was training myself and learning on just through a variety of Google searches, podcasts, Instagram, things like that, on how to actually just resell items that are already existing ASINs that are selling on Amazon. And quickly started to learn that, and just learned how easily scalable it was. So with that, then I started researching a couple of ways to start to resell. And because I hadn't sold anything yet, I didn't really want to pay for a subscription yet. I found a few daily leads lists that were for free online, and decided to utilize those from the beginning. Daily leads lists are pretty great. They're people just provide you ASINs that are selling on Amazon at a specific desired sales rank, specific desired ROI. Sometimes you pay for them, sometimes they're free, and then you can just go and buy them because they tell you the retailer that they're on, and then you can go and buy them and resell them. I found I found that the daily leads list, they would usually provide like 3 a day or something like that. And it was probably 1 in 10 that I found actually was beneficial, and that I would actually buy. So luckily I landed on one of them that was really, really good. It also, the other nice thing about daily leads list is that it gives you an idea into retailers that you might not already know of that you could resell. One account that I know has started a daily leads list, which sounds really good. So I recommend this for beginner sellers, especially that want to get into online arbitrage. There's an account on Instagram called Eat Sleep Amazon. I recommend you look her up. It sounds like her daily leads list could be great. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. So that's how I started. And then so that was probably for the first 3 months. I utilized items off of the daily leads list and then just started searching retailers' websites that I found from those daily leads lists. Then I started branching out into actual sourcing sites where I could come up with my own leads. The two best that I found and that I've found people use are Tactical Arbitrage and Source Mogul. I use Source Mogul more than anything else. I tried the Tactical Arbitrage 14-day trial and decided to go with Source Mogul. I'll go a little bit more into detail on that in a future video. So anyways, I did want to walk you through kind of one of the main questions I get is how much money do you need to start reselling on Amazon? And to be honest, this is a question about how quickly do you want to grow and how much risk do you want to take, not about how much money you need to start, because you can basically start with as little money as you want. You can find one product, resell it, and then make profit, and then you invest all that profit and your initial investment back into your next sale, on and on and on. You can even find items around your house that you can sell and to start off with that money. So technically, you really don't have to start with any money. That being said, I'll flip over to a little chart that I made. I view the initial investment and how much you're willing to spend as basically how quickly you're going to ramp up. It's as simple as a time value of money equation from any simple investing framework. So let's assume you're making a profit. You're going to make a profit margin of about 15%, which is roughly what I'm making right now. That's, I think, a little bit lower than some other resellers, but I turn my product pretty quick, so I'm making that 15% quite a few times per year, so I'm happy with it. If you have an initial investment that you start out with $500, you have a profit margin of 15%, and let's say you're turning your inventory over 4 times per year, at year 5, you're going to turn that $500 into $8,183. So an initial investment of $500 is easily, you can make that into 16 times your money within 5 years. I said easily, it's not that easy. It will take a lot of work. You have to take a lot of research. You have to learn, build your confidence and all of that. I think my recommendation would be to start with about $500. You start like your initial SKUs that you're investing from the daily leads list. You probably spend $50 to $100 on those SKUs initially, and then you get a read of the sales, and then you go heavier and buy more into it. My first probably 3 products, I spent $50 to $100. They sold, and then I rebought them in for $300. They sold, and then it was like Q4, and I spent probably like $1,000 on them. So it's just this process of building confidence and buying the products. So if you spend $500, you make $8,183. Let's say you already have, pretty good credit card balance and you're confident in how quickly you're going to turn these. Because I'll say this 4 turns per year is actually pretty conservative. I'm turning my inventory 6 or 7 times per year right now. So it's actually even faster to ramp up than that. But I think it's fair to have a pretty conservative estimate off the bat, just in case. So let's say you have, pretty good credit, you have a high credit card allowance, or you're able to take a loan out for some money. And when I say high credit card allowance, I'm not saying that you should spend a ton of money on your credit cards and not pay it back. Make sure you're paying it back monthly. Make sure you have less than 25% of your total credit card allowance at any average time that you're utilizing, so that way you're not hurting your credit score, because you shouldn't hurt your credit score by doing this. So let's say you have a larger initial investment. You get $20,000. With $20,000, you can turn that into $327,000, basically $327,000 by the end of 5 years. That's fantastic. So it really is just about building your confidence to the point where you know that you can sell these products, so that then you can start to gain the profit, reinvest it back into the business, and then have more confidence, probably spend a little bit more on your credit cards, or take out a loan, so then you can grow very quick. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, we're talking about the investment, so what's the risk? In my mind, the risk is your time. That's it. Because online arbitrage or retail arbitrage, you're buying items from retailers, you can always return those items if you're doing it within 3 months. So let's say you buy something online, it ships to you, and by the time it ships to you and you're starting to process it and ship it to Amazon, it doesn't look like it's going to sell as well. You can just say that you ordered the wrong item, which you did, and return it to the retailer. I will say that doesn't happen very often to me anymore, but it does occasionally. But usually, I've built the process down to where I usually know if it's going to sell, how well it's going to sell, and what's going to happen with it. But that is always an out. So in my mind, there really is little to no risk. And then even once I've shipped the item to Amazon and spent the money on shipping, so I don't really want to ship it back to myself and then return it, because that would just be hurting my margin and all that. Usually the risk is you buy items with an ROI that's high enough so that then worst case scenario, you're just getting your money back, which again means you've wasted your time, but you haven't really wasted your money, and then you can just go and try it again. I look forward to making more videos like this in the future, and go a little bit more into detail on the process, because I know this was just a general overview and talk through, how I source, what metrics I look at, what tools I use, and how I use those tools. So look forward to making some more videos in the future. Bye.